All right. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to a special live, not a presentation, like a mixture of a presentation and a crypto talk. This is Brandon Ivey from Los Angeles, California. I'm the founder and CEO of Ivy League Crypto Academy, ILCA for short. Thank you for taking time to learn. This is a learning session where most people are not familiar with this industry of Web3, particularly Web3 and gaming. So I've got two articles where we're going to talk about one, gaming and it being combined with blockchain technology and why this is a big deal from Web 2.0 gaming to Web 3.0 gaming. So it is no secret that we are heavily involved in a current Metaverse project called Vara, which is primary product itself is Starvara, an MMO AAA game in the metaverse. But you need to know what it is. And so a couple of these articles popped up in our crypto talk earlier this week. And yesterday. And instead of me doing it in crypto talk, I said this will be a perfect learning time for me to do in front of everybody. Because the key is getting the word out about what this project is all about and why you should pay attention to it. If you don't even understand it, you're not even going to see the opportunity and know that there's an opportunity to even be had. So go ahead and type in the chat box where you're listening in from. We are streaming everywhere today. We have Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, as well as directly here on StreamYard. You might want to share this to your groups. Let your members even know that this is something they want to be a part of. I see we have Joyce Easley. Good morning, Joyce. We've got Mark from Alaska. Welcome back, Mark. Marnita Casa from Colorado. Matthew Ramos. Emmanuel from Kumba, Cameroon. All right, Emmanuel. Dr. Emmanuel, you get that information I sent you. We've got the presentations in French. DJ from Colorado. Let's see, we've got Sona from Kumba, Cameroon. Brandon, another Brandon. I like that. Brandon Sona from Cameroon. We've got Albert, Captain Clervaux Albert from Stamford, Connecticut. In fact, his wife also just got promoted to midshipman. I'll be posting that up as soon as this is over with. I see Patty Geis on the line as well. We see Athene from Nigeria. Welcome, welcome. Muriel Jean from Stamford, Connecticut. Ernest from Ghana. Wow, so we've got Cameroon, Nigeria, and Ghana from Africa on the line. Jacqueline Briggs from St. Petersburg, Florida. You know, Jacqueline, you know who came to my mind? I haven't spoke to in a long time. Is Gregory. If you chat with Gregory, tell him I said hello. Sonia Elaine Barnes from Plantation, Florida. Welcome, welcome, Sonia. I see John Carbon from Dominica. Welcome, welcome again. This is something you want to get the word out. To understand the opportunity, you need to understand the industry. What is the industry all about? Just how big is this? This industry is like 100 times bigger than network marketing, the gaming industry. And we are positioned right in the middle of it. So let me go ahead and share screen and let's jump on this. I see you, Yashika from Georgia. Hello from Lomita, California. I don't know who that is. That's Facebook user from Lomita, California. So let me share screen. Yeah, thank you, Jacqueline. Gregory Sistrunk. He was back with Jacqueline back in the day, Vitel days. All right. Share screen on my window. All right, you should be able to see my screen. Now I see you, Miguel Sanabria. Okay. First up, as you guys saw, those of you who came early, I played some video clips of the Starvara project. That is a AAA game in the Web 3. So what are Web 3 games and how do they work? Well, one, what are Web 3 games? Web 3 based gaming, also known as blockchain gaming, refers to gaming that utilizes distributed ledger technology to offer greater transparency, security, democratization, and user control over in-game assets. So before we even go into that, let me backtrack. What is Web 2.0 games? You guys know what Web 2.0 games are? Is what your kids are playing right now. We're talking Final Fantasy, World of Warcraft, Fortnite, Roblox, Call of Duty, Battlefield. Any game that you're interacting with other people at the same time, not just a computer, but other people at the same time in some virtual reality. Some might even call it the metaverse. But and you can actually enter these games for free, but you're paying real money to buy assets in the games. It can be your skin avatars, your clothing, your movements. Like right now, the number one game I'm playing is NBA 2K24. And I'm freaking out that everything I want, I gotta buy. If I want to get a new dribble move, if I want to have in-game gear, clothing, and shoes. Now, I can earn my way to get those by playing the game and winning. It's called the grind. Or I could take the cheap way out, which is what I prefer. And I actually pay my money, put in my credit card, so I can buy in-game points. They call it VC points. So I can use that to buy stuff in the gaming world. But do I actually own it? No. I just have access to it to increase my gaming experience. Now, the game itself cost, I bought it in pre-sale to get all the stuff. I think I paid $80. But since then, do you want to know how much money I've spent? I'm not even ashamed to say it. I've spent probably about $250. What, Brent? What did I spend? I spent $250 buying, it's called VC money, because that's the money that they use in the gaming world. And I use that money to buy all of my moves, my emotes. I bought a new skateboard. I bought a whole new wardrobe because I got a wardrobe when I'm in the game. I got a wardrobe when I'm running around the city because I want to be unique. I don't want nobody looking like me. And the character looks just like me, by the way. I bought sleeves. I bought clothes that I wear when I do my interviews so I can have my suit on. And I use real world money for that. Now, who gets that money? The game does. Am I able to sell any of that? No. Do I control it? Own it? No. Just like if you're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all the pictures and videos and stuff you're uploading, all that content, you don't own anymore. They do. That's Web 2.0, and it is a billion-dollar industry. Soon to be trillion-dollar industry. It's so big that the banks, and every single one, go ahead and Google a bank and put Metaverse behind it and see what pops up. It is so big that the biggest institutions on the planet have taken notice. And they understand that the future of finance is tokenization, is giving the people the ability to have ownership of their content and what they create. And if you want to have mass adoption, there's two ways that things get started. One, through the illegal trade, and then through entertainment. Gaming is one of them. Once the gamers understand what's going on, it's going to flow into everything else. If you haven't done so, watch the movie Ready Player One. Not because you want to be a gamer, but because you are looking at the future of society. So now that you understand where Web 2.0 is, there's a whole lot of problems with that. Privacy, them taking our content and selling it to ad agencies, advertisements. We don't own any of that stuff. They can freeze our account whenever they want to and take our assets. So what is the answer to this? It's the next evolution, Web3. Now that I've given that background, sometimes I got to say things in a way that my mom can understand. Let's talk about Web3. So Web3 based gaming, also known as blockchain gaming, refers to gaming that utilizes distributed ledger technology to offer greater transparency, security, democratization, and user control over in-game assets. Now, none of this article has anything to do with, is not promoting Vara. It's just the industry that Vara is in, so you can understand. Web3 games are based on the decentralized peer-to-peer architecture of blockchains and include cryptocurrencies and non-fungible tokens, NFTs. Okay, so we got blockchain, we got cryptocurrencies, we have NFTs. Blockchain enables players to own and trade in-game items like NFTs and other digital assets. JP Morgan Chase already said that digital assets are going to be more valuable than real world assets. That's why every bank is in this space. That's why BlackRock is moving to have an ETF. Larry Fink himself said, I might even play the video if I get inspired later on, that Web3 democratization is the future of finance. Tokenized assets like stock and bonds is the future. And then he said, we're leading the way. How are they leading the way? They just partnered with Coinbase. Coinbase is partnering with Web3 projects. So the assets are managed and traded on decentralized marketplaces using smart contracts. This is why it's not just about a game. You need to understand crypto. Decentralization offers the gaming industry and players lots of unique benefits. Now understand, I have not read this article yet. I'm reading it live with you guys, so I'm going to be going in and out on tangents as things hit my head because I'm in learning mode right now. So decentralization offers the gaming industry and players lots of unique benefits. Alongside the increased transparency and security a blockchain provides, decentralized gaming gave rise to the play-to-earn gaming model. Play-to-earn. How many of you have kids that spend hours playing video games? What if they actually earned rewards and made money playing video games? I got rich in this game. I was one of the wealthiest people in this game world, Matrix Online. The game started off because everybody wanted to be in the Matrix. We wanted to be Neo and Morpheus and Trinity and do bullet time, all that stuff. That's how it started. That's not how it ended. It was more of socializing, playing with our friends, creating our own events, which we did. In fact, even the developers, I was on one of their Comic-Cons, this is years ago, and they interviewed me, and one of the developers said, well, the content you guys are creating is actually better than what they do, the developers have created inside of the game. And that's why it was so popular. But imagine we actually made money for the games we played. Imagine that. You're right, Matthew. There are several games with Discord marketplaces. But again, they have to use a third-party marketplace to make this happen. What Web3 is doing, it's built in. Built into the system. Web3 gaming. Oh, wait, go back. Alongside the increased transparency and security a blockchain provides, decentralized gaming gave rise to the play-to-earn gaming model, where players earn cryptocurrency for playing and leveling up in games. Web3 gaming contributes to the gaming industry's financial strength through innovations like decentralized autonomous organizations, DAOs, That's what Larry Fink was talking about. He said, look, I don't have to vote anymore. The people can actually vote on their own thing, democratizing it. Crypto secured gaming wallets. Crypto secured gaming wallets, huh? Like this one right here that we just launched. Uh-huh. Yeah, it's in beta. You see beta. And the Metaverse. Watch the movie Ready Player One. How do Web3 games work? Web3 games use blockchain technology to enable decentralized ownership of in-game assets and currencies. Trade and use these assets outside of the game. They also often incorporate cryptocurrency payments and smart contracts for secure and transparent transactions. Web3 games are built on decentralized blockchains, allowing for greater transparency, security, and user control compared with traditional centralized gaming platforms. Blockchain technology provides a tamper-proof ledger of all transactions and ensures that verifiable algorithms rather than centralized servers determine game outcomes. So, Web3 gaming components. And these are things you might want to write down and study. If you're not a part of my inner circle, you want to study these things yourself. The blockchain. Know what the blockchain is. Smart contracts. Traditionally, it's been on Ethereum. But for the first time now, we have it on Bitcoin, the Bitcoin protocol. Governance and community-driven development. Giving the power to the people. Transferable in-game assets, where you can trade and sell your own in-game assets for a profit. And then know what digital wallets are, where you're able to move those earnings to your own digital wallet and cash out. That's the Web3 gaming components. All these things is not available on Web 2.0. This is the difference. Another key component of Web3 games is smart contracts, which are programmed to execute specific actions automatically when certain conditions are met, such as when a player buys or sells an asset. In Web3 gaming, they manage the ownership, transfer, and trading of in-game assets. Web3 gaming platforms utilize digital currency wallets to house players' in-game collectibles and assets. The future. One thing you got to understand about the current Web 2.0 gaming community, they don't understand NFTs yet. They believe NFTs is like Big Brother. They're not too fond of NFTs yet. And it's because they don't understand it. And I know this because I have a 16-year-old son who's been gaming all his life since before he could talk. And I ask him questions, and he plays all these games. And when you bring up NFTs, currently right now, it has a negative flavor in the mouth of current gamers. A lot of it is because they don't understand what an NFT is. They don't understand the value of it for them having control over their own stuff. And a lot of them, because these young gamers, they have never worked a job in their life yet, so they don't even understand the value of a dollar. They don't get it yet. But every single thing is going to be tokenized and digitized, and it's going to be in the form of NFT. So they're not going to have a choice. Once they understand, wait a minute, I can monetize what I'm doing, it'll be a whole different ball game. So, Web3 gaming platforms utilize digital cryptocurrency wallets to house players' in-game collectibles and assets. Crypto wallets are an important part of Web3 gaming architecture and a necessary tool for interaction with blockchain-based services. See, right now, Web 2.0 games only have one service. Input your credit card so that we can get paid. They don't have the reverse service. How about them being able to pay you? Fortnite has been trying to experiment with this a little bit by creating a platform where you can be a content creator inside of Fortnite. Or was it Minecraft or Roblox? I think it's Fortnite. And they want to reward you for doing so. They're having a tough time at trying to get it all set up. Gaming DAOs help create a player-driven economy, a player-driven gaming ecosystem to manage gaming communities and decentralized gaming platforms. Types of gaming DAOs include grant DAOs, gaming guilds, incubators, and accelerators. 3. Unique features of Web3 gaming. Web3 gaming offers several unique features like high transparency and greater control, not possible on traditional centralized gaming platforms. You hear that? First, Web3 games provide high transparency. Since peer hosting ensures the players have all information without a centralized third party limiting or hiding access. These games are effortlessly accessible to gamers. Buying cryptocurrency and setting up a wallet to start playing is simple, even for non-tech savvy users. Another important benefit of blockchain-based gaming is that it gives players greater ownership and control over their in-game assets, such as virtual land, currencies, and characters. With Web3 technology, players can truly own and trade their digital assets, which can have real-world value and exercise greater control over their gaming experience. You know what's going to be interesting now? This next generation of kids is going to understand and learn money because of their gaming. You know, when I was a kid, we had car washes in the neighborhood, we collected cans, and we mowed neighbors' yards for money to go and buy games. We bought baseball cards, we bought video games on Nintendo. That's what we did. How do we raise the money? We went out and worked for it. But that working and making money gave us an understanding of money and the value of it, not just mom and dad giving it to me. Now imagine an entire generation growing up playing games and earning rewards from the game, from what they're doing. Like I tell my kids all the time, work first, play later. If you finish your work, you can play all day long. And then my youngest son tried to get smart with me. He said, well, what if my playing is working because I'm making money doing it? Huh? Yeah, don't get smart with me. But this is where the generation is going to learn about money. I also learned too because the ice cream man came when I was a kid, and we knew we needed 2 dimes to get that 50-50 bar or ice cream sandwich, a quarter. That's how cheap it was back in the day. We understood the value of money. But now this is going to be on a whole other scale. You're going to have 14 and 15-year-olds making more money than their parents. What? Let me repeat that. You're going to have kids making more money than their parents from e-gaming stuff. Web3 gaming creates innovative in-game economies where players are rewarded for gaming skills and simultaneously opens new monetization methods. Man, I wish they had this when I was a kid. I'd be killing the game. I'm older. I still play games, but I ain't going to lie. I'm not ashamed to admit as well. My reflexes aren't as fast as they used to be. I was playing NBA 2K24. Normally, I just play with me in the computer. But this time, I said, let me go into the rec yard and let me play with the other players. I went in there and I got spanked like the Rams did against the Eagles this weekend. Like how USC beat up on Colorado. Well, they did come back at the end. More like how, what was it, Oregon beat up on Colorado. I got spanked. I could not keep up with the twitch fastness of some of these kids. Now, I can blame lag and all that stuff, but it depends on the game. I still play Grand Theft Auto. I still dominate in Grand Theft Auto. I ain't gonna lie. I'm a killer in that game. But the older I get, my reflexes are going to get a little bit slower. But I can now imagine if I had this ability in my 20s, and so I could make a full-time income off of this. So anyways, peer play to earn games, players can generate income while playing and earn real money for their in-game achievements, like completing quests. This can create a more resilient and reliable ecosystem for players and developers. Yeah, playing the game of life. Web3 gaming also ensures greater interoperability between different games and platforms. Users can use their assets in various contexts and settings and easily transfer or trade them between different games. You want to know another show you should watch? It is on, I think it's on Netflix, and it's called Sword Art Online. I will even type it in the chat box. Sword Art Online. It's like a Japanese anime, and it spans multiple seasons and different gaming platforms, where if you spent all your time in one game platform and you made a lot of money and you leveled your character up, you had all the weapons, you then could transfer your character over to a completely different game and genre, but still have your same abilities and level up in skills and your money. That's transferring between platforms. That happens right now with Android. You can have a Samsung phone, a Sony phone, whatever phone, and it's interoperable. The only place that's not is freaking Apple. iPhone, they have their own ecosystem. And it is, I created an Apple account because I want to watch Apple TV. And because I don't have an iPhone, I still can't even get into my stupid account. They're still giving me the runaround about it. Here's the latest. I sent them an email about, I never got a call back from tech support. You know what they told me? We have been trying to contact you, but it's not going through. I'm like, what are you talking about? I showed them a screenshot of my call log. No phone calls came through. Then they say, is that an iPhone? No, it's not an iPhone. Well, they're calling me from their internal system. And the internal system is going through iPhone users. I'm like, are you crazy? Just because you can't even call my phone if it's not an iPhone? Well, I'm sorry, Mr. Ivey, it's on the internal system. Pick up your phone, dial my number, and call me. Anyways, they're not going to break me. They're going to try to get me to get an iPhone. That's what it all comes down to. So anyways, players can use their assets in various contexts and settings and easily transfer or trade them between different games. Web3 game developers show how a new gaming ecosystem thrives on personalized player experiences. That is everything. Personalized player experiences. Brandon says, how can I have this page so I can read it later? Oh, I'm reading an article right now. I will post it. Copy. Right there in the chat box. So you can read this for yourself later on as well. So, Web3 game developers show how a new gaming ecosystem thrives on personalized player experiences, prioritizing immersive, engaging gaming processes with the best incentives for players. The play-to-earn model is a big motivator for many gamers, and games are often designed with the player in mind. Blockchain provides a way to track the provenance of digital assets. This means that developers and players can easily track the owners of specific assets and transaction history, resulting in greater transparency in the game's economy. William says, it's difficult in this era to leave without working actively for money, but Vara is making it possible for humans to make money without actively working. Yes, true. Web3 gaming allows for digital scarcity, which means that in-game assets can be made unique, rare, and valuable. The packages that's being sold in Vara is for these in-game assets that are unique, that are rare, and that are valuable. That is what you're purchasing. In traditional gaming environments, this is tough to achieve. Developers can just print more copies of a rare item or give them to players as rewards, which can lead to inflation. The same way the government could take you $100 and then just print more of it. And every time they do, the value of yours goes down. That's when you have a centralized system. But when you have it decentralized, the rare item is the rare item. It can't be just print more of it. Web3 game developers can ensure that in-game items are scarce and not subject to inflationary pressure. Items are stored on the blockchain and cannot be replicated or tampered with. Features of Web3 gaming. Digital scarcity. This is stuff you guys want to write down, because especially if you are a part of Vara and you're trying to sell this product to people who don't understand, this is stuff you need to know. Digital scarcity, transparency and availability, provenance tracking, in-game economy and new monetization opportunities, interoperability between games and platforms, player-driven gaming, ownership and control. Web3 games versus traditional games. Okay, let's see. Let's see if I have it right. Web3 games and traditional games have several key differences, including how they are built and played. Here are some of the main differences between traditional and Web3 games. Traditional games versus Web3 games. With traditional games, centralized versus decentralized. And traditional games are mainly built on centralized servers, so any game data may be potentially manipulated. I will never forget, I was playing Grand Theft Auto, and I made enough money to buy a car called the Night Shark. And this is like a bulletproof SUV. It was not easy to get. And I'm running around in the game with my Night Shark, taking people out. And for whatever reason, there was a internet disruption blackout, not on my side, on server side, on GTA side. And they had to reboot the system. And it happened right as my Night Shark went off a cliff. It was destroyed. And normally when it's destroyed, you got to call the insurance company and you get a new one, a new copy. I was in between that stage where I didn't have a chance to call the security yet. I mean, the insurance to replace it. Now, normally it doesn't matter. You can shut the game off and come back and you can still do that. By the time the system rebooted, my Night Shark was gone. Gone. And I'm contacting support and they're saying, well, there's nothing we can do. And they're, well, can you send a screenshot? How can I send a screenshot? You rebooted the system. But anyways, I paid for it and it was gone. With Web3, with the blockchain, it can never be gone. There's always a record of it. It can't be manipulated. It can't be changed. Now, even when I play the game, I'm always nervous. If another time I lost an item was if you end up being killed around the police around, they impound your vehicle. And if you don't get it out of the impound, I think it's 24 hours, it's destroyed and you just got to call Mutual Insurance to get it claimed back. But sometimes it doesn't happen. It's gone if you don't. But with blockchain, it's always there. See, Web3 games are built on decentralized networks that offer transparency, security, and user control. What about ownership and control? Traditional games. Players usually do not own their in-game assets and have limited control over them. That is true. Web3 games. Players have greater ownership and control over their in-game assets because these assets are stored on a blockchain, can be easily transferred or traded. I was playing NBA 2K last night, and I was in the city, and I saw this one dude was blinged up, and I knew the store he got his gear from was expensive. There's no way, since the game just launched, there's no way he could have grinded long enough to have enough money to get that stuff, which meant he had to use real world money to buy the credits inside of the game to get it. I know I've already spent $250. I know this dude had to spend over $1,000 on a game just to look fly in the game in front of other people he doesn't know. I mean, think about that for a second. You're flexing in a game to people you will never meet in real life. They don't matter in your life. You will never know. But at least your character looks good. I understand it. I understand the concept. There's money to be made there. People are willing to spend that type of money. See, in Web3 games, players have greater ownership and control over their in-game assets because these assets are stored on a blockchain and can be easily transferred or traded. Payment model. In traditional games typically use a one-time purchase model, subscription model, or in-game purchases. Web3 games use cryptocurrencies or other digital assets, which are managed and traded on decentralized marketplaces using smart contracts and other blockchain-based tools. Game development. In traditional games are usually developed and managed by a team of developers. In Web3 games often involve a high degree of collaboration and co-creation between developers and players, allowing for greater input and feedback from the economy. The only Web 2.0 game that actually took it that far was a game called Second Life. Some of you might have played that. And that game is old. Second Life's got to be 15, 16 years old, maybe older. Number 5, risks of Web3 gaming. As attractive as the Web3 game space can be, it is still nascent and niche, which to me that means we're still at the beginning, which means we're at the right place at the right time. There are issues associated with user adoption and mainstream acceptance. Web3 can be complex. That's because it's an uneducated community. That's what they said about the internet in the 90s with David Letterman. You know what? Let me play this. Let's take a stroll down memory lane when the internet was too complicated for people to understand. Take a look at this. Oh, where is it? There he is.
But I think about this, and what about this internet thing? Do you know anything about that?
Sure.
What the hell is that exactly?
Well, it's become a place where people are publishing information.
Right.
So everybody can have their own homepage. Companies are there. The latest information. It's wild what's going on. You can send electronic mail to people. It is the big new thing.
Yeah, but it's easy to criticize something you don't fully understand, which is my position here.
Go ahead.
But I can remember a couple of months ago, there was like a big breakthrough announcement that on the internet or on some computer deal, they were going to broadcast a baseball game. You could listen to a baseball game on your computer. And I just thought to myself, does radio ring a bell? You know what I mean?
There's a difference.
There is a difference.
It's not a huge difference.
What is the difference?
But you can listen to the baseball game whenever you want.
Right.
Too.
Oh, I see. So it's stored in one of your memory deals,
Exactly.
and then you can come back a year later.
You talked about earlier.
Yeah. Do tape recorders ring a bell? I just don't know. What can you, just knowing me the little you know me now, what am I missing here? What do I need?
Well, if you want to learn about the latest cigars or auto racing
right.
Statistics.
Well, I've got that covered. I subscribe to 2 British magazines devoted entirely to motorsports, and I call the Quaker State Speed Line about 2 times a half hour. So now, would the computer give me more than I'm getting that way?
Or you could find other people who have the same unusual interests you do. And
You mean the troubled loner chat room on the internet?
absolutely.
I think one day I'll get one of these deals, but I've played with them, and then you type it in, and then you get that thing, that little arrow. Is that the arrow you
bet.
And then it's just, it's like, oh, I get it. It's an eye test. What do we?
You see that? That is how majority of people believed and thought. And that was 1995. 1995. Just replace the word internet with blockchain today and do that same interview. That's exactly what's happening right now. People just don't understand it yet, but they will. Developers alongside the community should work to raise awareness and educate players about the advantages of Web3 games. What do you think I'm doing right now? I'm not getting paid to do this. I'm doing it to raise awareness. And why would I want to raise awareness? Because it's going to make me more money. It's going to increase my investment. When Bitcoin first came out, the Winklevoss twins spent, $11 million and started running around with Bitcoin t-shirts on. Why? To raise awareness. Web3 games are built on decentralized networks, which are generally more secure than centralized ones. However, Web3 games are still vulnerable to hacks and cyber attacks, which can lead to the loss or theft of game items. Gamers should take precautions to protect their private keys and use secure crypto wallets to store their digital assets, which goes right back to education is key. Education is everything, which is why I have my own company. It's not about just trying to make money. It's also helping you so that you can keep the money that you make. Furthermore, there is a risk of missing something special. The fun element that is key to the overall gameplay experience. Now, that is what a lot of gamers are saying today. Their critique is, if you allow people to make money playing the game, it's not going to become fun anymore. Really? Whoever said making money was boring? You mean it's not going to be fun making money in the game? It's going to mess up your experience? Web3 games focus more on financial incentives than providing a fun and enjoyable experience. Until now, Vara is I can't say they will because they haven't proven it yet. The goal is for our gamers to still have a fun gameplay experience, while at the same time, those who are more serious are able to make money playing the game. You can do both. Web3 game developers must prioritize the fun gameplay element in design to attract a wider audience and compete with the major Web2 companies. Now, here's the thing, though. There's a difference between fun and also competition. That's already here on Web 2.0. There's competition in every Web 2.0 game. The only difference with Web 3.0 is that they're adding a reward on top of it and not just bragging rights. We go back to the arcade games. How many of you were arcade junkies like me? Let's go back to the Tron days, late 70s, early 80s. I remember my youngest memory, my dad took us to Disneyland. And Disneyland, next to Space Mountain, there's restaurants, and then across from the restaurant was this 2-story arcade game. And I mean, I remember it like yesterday. I was more interested in going into the arcade game than standing in line for Space Mountain. Those of you who have ever been to Disneyland back in the 80s know what I'm talking about. And one of the coolest things was that you were so good on that arcade game that your name, you made the top 10 on the leaderboard. Every game showed the record. Played Galaga, Pac-Man, all those games. And you slapped your quarter on the arcade because you had next in line to get your name up there. So don't tell me that people don't like competitive games. They do. But instead of just being rewarded with bragging rights, you actually reward them with some money. That's going to take it to a whole nother level. And it's still enjoyable and fun. And last but not least, there is a regulatory risk since the legal and regulatory environment surrounding Web3 games is still evolving. There may be uncertainty around taxation. This is true. This is something that hasn't been solved yet. Licensing and anti-money laundering regulations. Developers and players should be aware of these risks and work to comply with the relevant rules. Here's the only thing you need to do. If you make money playing the game and you take that money out and turn it into fiat money, you're taxed on it. Pay your taxes. That's it. Let's keep it simple. Examples of Web3 games. Okay. There are many blockchain games and decentralized application dApps in the modern Web3 gaming universe like CryptoKitties, Axie Infinity, and Decentraland. Oh, WGC community. We just talked about that last night. Each game has its unique features and game mechanics, but they all use the power of blockchain technology to create innovative gaming experiences not possible on traditional centralized gaming platforms. Here are some examples of Web3 games. CryptoKitties is one of the first massively popular Ethereum-based games where players can collect, breed, and trade unique digital cats. The game uses blockchain technology to ensure the uniqueness and ownership of each digital cat. Axie Infinity is a Pokemon-inspired play-to-earn metaverse game built onto the Ethereum-linked Ronin sidechain developed by Sky Mavis, where players can collect, raise, and battle creatures called Axies. Web3 tools allow players to own and trade their Axies and in-game assets. The Sandbox is a virtual world where players can build and monetize their virtual worlds, in-game assets, and digital currencies using blockchain technology. Decentraland is a virtual world allowing players to create, explore, and monetize their virtual experiences. Gods Unchained is a digital collectible card game that uses blockchain technology to allow players to own and trade their cards. The game uses the Ethereum blockchain to ensure the authenticity and scarcity of its digital cards. You know what I can't wait? For the day where we see these articles and then they put up Vara and then they show something like this. Now that's what I'm talking about. The future of Web3 gaming. The future of Web3 gaming is exciting and promising as it offers new opportunities for players to truly own their in-game assets and currencies, as well as new revenue streams for developers. Remember that term developers, because I'm going to talk about the developers in the next article. Incorporating blockchain into gaming has changed the industry, democratizing it by removing centralized parties and creating new ways of monetization with more social, and community-oriented gaming. Community-oriented gaming experiences, all of which further enhance the social and entertainment aspects of gaming. However, it is unlikely that Web3 games will completely replace traditional games. Yes, it will. I'm telling you right now. Ultimately, yes, it will. As they offer experiences and target different audiences. However, Web3 games have the potential to create new opportunities and revenue streams for the gaming industry and provide unique gameplay experiences. Furthermore, as the technology and infrastructure for Web3 gaming continue to develop, we can expect to see more innovative and immersive games, increased adoption of cryptocurrency payments, and more opportunities for players and developers to participate in the decentralized gaming ecosystem. Let me tell you what the future is going to be as well. Everything's going to be on the metaverse. Everything's going to be blockchain-based technology, NFTs, and digital tokenized. And in the gaming industry, the gaming e-gaming industry is going to be bigger than regular sports. You know how we always want to watch our football, baseball, hockey, basketball, soccer. Well, you're going to have gaming tournaments that are going to be bigger than those. And the prize money is going to be, you're going to have gamers making more money than professional athletes. And Vara next week is going to be unveiling the first part of its esports game with a battle royale. 120 people are going to be able to play at the same time. And let me give you a sneak peek of that. Take a look at this. Now that's what I'm talking about. Now let's go on to this one. How tokenization is benefiting game developers and players alike. How is that? Crowdfunding has been a popular option for game developers looking to launch projects, but as the market gets saturated, tokenization is becoming a compelling alternative. Tokenization platform Bricken is holding a competition for indie developers, allowing them to raise capital, attract a new audience of engaged players, and accelerate their projects. For years, crowdfunding has been the go-to for game builders looking to make a splash and secure investment for their big idea, and it continues to enjoy significant demand with the game industry. Statistics from Kickstarter reveal that gaming is still the most popular category for crowdfunding campaigns. A total of 80,163 projects have launched after securing $2.27 billion in investment. Most popular funding categories on Kickstarter. Whoa, you got games, number one. Design, technology, film and video, publishing, music, fashion, comics, food, art, photography, theater, crafts, journalism, and dance. But gaining traction and achieving milestones has gotten more complicated as the market reaches saturation, with even the most promising titles struggling to stand head and shoulders above the competition. This is where tokenization comes into play and turns gamers into stakeholders. Before tokenization, a significant barrier for entry for potential investors in emerging gaming projects was the minimum investment required. To make matters worse, those who contributed might not receive much incentive in return because you didn't have a lot of money to get started with. Tokenization transforms all of this. By automating and token gating these processes, it opens the door for fractional ownership, meaning gamers on all budgets can take a stake in the projects they're passionate about. For example, Vara, we got $100 to $3,500. Get in where you fit in. Yesterday in our international presentation, my partner, Peter Blackwell, stated he already owns more than 40 access keys. Do you think that he is investing in this? If each access key right now is worth $3,000 each, and he's got 40 of them, that's $120,000 he's put down. Now, I already know he's made more than $250,000, which meant he took half of the money that he's made and put it right back in to this. I own 15 access keys. How much money did I do? 15 times $3,000 each. That's $45,000. I've already made how much? $127,000. So I took $45,000 of what I made, and I've put it right back in, investing. So wherever you can fit in, developers also have an opportunity to give backers a seat at the table, allowing them to vote on key milestones that will alter the course of the project in the months and years to come. Communication channels can be walled off to those who have made a contribution to, enabling them to tap into exclusive perks and content. Moreover, tokenization is a marketing powerhouse for both players and game developers. Players become stakeholders, motivated to promote and engage with their favorite games actively, and tokenized assets further fuel their involvement. For developers, it's a community building tool that incentivizes player engagement. The result is a more inclusive, efficient, and engaging ecosystem that benefits both developers and gamers alike. As Felix Thielend, Chief Marketing Officer at tokenization solution provider Bricken, points out, crowdfunding has played a pivotal role in bringing our most beloved games to market. Asset tokenization is the evolution of that, introducing a participatory aspect in which the early adopters, we're in pre-launch right now with Vara. Each and every one of you is an early adopter. Early adopters can be properly incentivized to boost awareness and help in marketing the game. Unlocking the future. Now, the Bricken Gaming Awards have launched, allowing budding developers to showcase their creations in exchange for the chance to supercharge their ideas like never before. Successful applicants have the potential to win free tokenization and marketing package worth $10,000. All right, this is all about Bricken. I don't care about all that. But the content here. Web3 gaming is bringing about the ability of other businesses, whether it's gaming or entertainment, to tokenize themselves. That, ladies and gentlemen, is why I came out of retirement. I don't need Vara or Starvara. I want Vara. You might have heard of a rapper named Nas. In 2014, I think it was, or 16, He invested $100,000 into Coinbase. Today is worth $40 million. The key is finding the projects in the crypto space that's going to survive the crypto storm. Finding the projects that are going to become real world projects in the real world, not just speculation, but they actually have real world utility. Vara is one of those projects. Not a guarantee that it's going to succeed. I can't guarantee that. I can't guarantee how much money you're going to make. But neither could Coinbase when people invested in them. Neither could Microsoft. Neither could Apple. Neither could Alibaba. Neither could Amazon. You can't guarantee it. We hope they succeed. We hope the CEOs make the right decision. We hope the founding team is on point, creating a product that people want. Speaking of the team, I'm going to end on this note by showing you who the team is behind the Vara project. Tomorrow, I will be doing an official international presentation at 2 p.m. Eastern. So it's going to start exactly right now, the time right now, tomorrow. 2 p.m. Eastern, you're going to see a full international presentation by myself. I'm also going to have another guest speaker again, the #1 money earner in Vara, Mr. Peter Blackwell, as well tomorrow. You don't want to miss it. I cannot stress the fact that you need to get your hands on as many access keys as you possibly can that you can't afford. Don't be using your rent money and all that other stuff trying to invest in stuff. Don't do that because there's no guarantee. I earned it. I put my head down, went to work, and I used the money I made, and I used that to buy. I didn't pull from my household. But do what you can afford to do. And I'm going to end by playing the Meet the Team. I hope you guys learned something new. As always, that's the point. It was my pleasure to read to you the article so you understand what's coming. Oh, and you got to do this as well. I forgot to show this. If you have not, we've got a showcase event happening on Monday, the 16th. You want to share this with everybody. This showcase event. Register here October 16th. Join us for Vara Discovery event. So if I click on that, oh, I already registered. That's why it's doing that. I already registered. So I will put this in the chat box and get back to whoever invited you. Register for the event. Everything starts moving very quickly after this event. I am going to start moving very quickly. I'm going to be very, very active. I've already enrolled more than 60 people by myself. My goal is 500. So I am going to be active every day. And I move like my life depends on it. All right? That's when I make a decision and I take action, I don't just pussyfoot around it. I don't just stick my toe in the water to see if it's warm or cold or hot. I go for it. I'm here to make millions. If I'm able to make more than $100,000 on less than 2,000 people on our team, what do you think that number is going to look like when we reach 10,000? I'm going all out after next Monday's showcase. It's game on. Who wants to get there with me? I'm not looking for complainers. I'm not looking for people who make excuses. I'm looking for people who want to make $10,000 a month on a bad month. We've had my sponsor just made $20,000 in one day. What was it, Saturday? In one day. Who wants it? Who's ready to go to work? A closed mouth doesn't get fed. We got to open our mouths now and share with the world what this is. In Facebook, which Facebook? I'm in multiple Facebook groups. If you want the link, then send me a private message. Because when I put the link on here, it's only going to those of you on StreamYard. It won't go to Facebook. I can put the link in my private Facebook on my page. If you're watching this on my page, I'll put the link there in the comments. If you're watching it from one of my groups, I don't know which group you guys are in. So let me put that here. So there, I put it on my page in the Facebook group. Register for the showcase. Register for the showcase. All right, everybody, let me show you who the team is, and then I need to get back to work because I'm not playing with this. And I will see you guys tomorrow on the international presentation. Let's make it a goal. Bring 2 to 5 people. We should have hundreds of people on our international StreamYard Zoom calls presentations. And this is, I'll be using StreamYard. In fact, right after this, I will create the StreamYard link and I'll post it in our Telegram groups and on Facebook for tomorrow. So you can watch it live on Facebook, or you can watch it on the StreamYard link. So with that, thank you guys for being here. My name is Brandon Ivey. The only thing I have coming later today is our Diamond class training. We're doing the last lesson on NFTs, on the future of NFTs tonight. And we will be finished with that series. And then I'll be back for the Diamond class next week when we start going over how to trade Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. With that, take care, everybody. Here's the last video. Bye-bye.
Hi, I'm Mike Saunders. I'm the CTO.
I'm a 3D game artist.
Manager of customer support.
I am social media manager.
I'm the head of web development.
I'm a senior developer.
I'm a senior graphic designer.
I'm the game writer. I'm a 3D designer and video editor.
I am chief game architect.
I am the head of support.
I am the game art lead.
I'm a 3D artist.
Senior art director and designer.
My role is head of games development.
I'm a 3D designer and a video editor.
Game developer.
I'm a junior game dev.
At its core, what we're doing, whether it's game dev, blockchain work, or in the web space, really embraces the notion of open source and collaboration.
I enjoy the company culture. I think it's an awesome team, very talented team. I count myself privileged to be a part of this team.
It lifts me up every day to come to work. I really enjoy being here and being part of what we're doing. It's really an exciting part of my day-to-day.
I love my colleagues. We have a lot of coffee. I don't do coffee, so whatever.
I get to come to work, come up with crypto tools, build smart contracts, make video games, it really is a dream job.
Every day we are constantly trying to innovate and do the most exciting thing possible.
Get given challenges every day, and how to solve that is always fun.
There's definitely a groundswell of excitement around what we're building.
The Starvara universe is going to seemingly be endless, and what better place could a writer want to be than in this position right now? I'm never going back, that's for sure. This is where I belong.